Awesome dynamic website. All right, we're technically live right now. And this is the first webinar, well, the second run at our first attempt at a webinar, this for Awesome Dynamic. And we're trying to use the Google Hangouts on air. And we're just making sure that everyone can see. Currently it says 0 viewers. I don't think we have the issue from last time where we had started the wrong week. We had the right week started, or the right event started. Nate, are you seeing anything on your screen? Can you refresh that again? Okay. Okay, so we are coming through. And Nate is actually watching us from his computer right now.
Cool. You can ask questions.
Okay, and my laptop. Yeah, and you can't ask questions unless you have a Google account. So you can still watch you can still watch.
That should
but you
be
can't
the
ask
first
questions.
lesson.
Yeah, the first lesson is get a Google account.
Then you can get reviews.
That's right. Okay, that's something I can't help you with right at this moment, but there should be an option somewhere on the computer to switch that over. So if it comes through the speakers for now, that's fine. Okay, we have one viewer, and I believe that's probably Nate who's saying that he can see it. I'll see if there's any comments on the page of anyone saying that they can't get in, like there was from the last one. We are live now. And I'm just posting, we are live now. Anyone having trouble getting in? And Robin, go ahead and say something.
Hello.
Let's see what kind of delay we have. Yeah, so I was effectively able to remove Blake from the broadcast.
Okay.
I'm just doing this to see how much delay there is. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It just showed you saying hello.
Oh.
Okay, so it's
That's
like
not
a
good.
25, 30-second delay, according to my laptop here. Okay, we have other viewers in here. All right, so hello, everyone. We can see that you're here. You're probably as you just got in here, you probably heard us bantering back and forth. We're getting this first Hangouts on Air going. And we're noting that the ability to ask questions is essentially regulated to those who have Google accounts. If you do have a Google account, you're able to, on the right side of your screen, there's a little area that says questions. And on the bottom right, there's a place where you can actually post a question. One of my employees, Nate Ford, he just started last week, he's logged in and under my wife's account. And Nate, would you mind putting in a question by clicking on that button there? All right, so he's going to put in a question. He's going to ask, what is the secret sauce to SEO? And we're going to have a one-line answer that's going to get you to the top of Google immediately. Right, Robin?
Right.
So while we're waiting for Nate to put through that question, let me see here. Original. Let's see how that question comes through on our end. All right. And if you look, okay, so on the right, if you're a participant right now, you should see a pending question. Robin, do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so it shows, at least on our end, and it does show from the viewer perspective, Jessica saying, "What is the secret sauce of SEO?" And those of you in the audience can actually hit the +1 next to the number there, and it will indicate your vote that you want to learn about that question. But I'm going to go ahead and hit the select button on our end, and then that displays that this is the question we're answering now, and actually earmarks this place in the video, showing that that's what we're talking about at that moment. So the secret sauce of SEO is to A, get a Google account, B, claim your Google listing, C, get reviews on your Google Plus listing, and D, get a whole bunch of citations. And that's really going to help you out a lot locally. Before we get into any more of that, I do know that Dr. Bennett, who may or may not be attending at this point in time, Dr. Bennett, if you're there, please submit a question. But he was having some issues with folks trying to find his office in Libertyville, and he said people were punching in his address or his business name, and they were arriving 5 miles down the street on Milwaukee Avenue. So he had indicated to me this morning that that was reflecting badly on him, and some of these people were candidates for new positions that he was going to fill at his office. And after talking with him a little bit this morning, we found out that it wasn't Google that was causing the issue. These folks were actually looking him up through GPS on Garmin or on TomTom. We weren't sure which one, but he directly asked the person when they got there, well, what did you use to find me? And they said, well, I used my GPS, and it wasn't on his smartphone. So Google, although Google's out there and it does affect a lot of things, it's not going to directly affect how Garmin or TomTom has your business listed. So I had sent him a couple links, information for Garmin to contact Garmin, and then TomTom actually has an area where you can claim and move your business location there. So this way he can fix those issues and people can actually find him. I know that Google does have a very comprehensive database of information of where businesses are located, and I'm sure that big businesses like Garmin and TomTom query that database, but usually for that information to flow through, it takes quite a bit of time. So as I was telling Dr. Bennett, it's better to be just proactive and go into those systems or contact those companies to fix those issues. Another question that I actually had from the Ask the SEO Experts What to Prioritize, the webinar page where you sign in to watch this video, came from Mario Sanders, and he had asked the question, I need to know how to link my Google reviews image on my website to the actual place to leave reviews. And I believe his website is VTP Productions. I'm going to look him up here really quick. I'm going to share my screen so we can take a look at what I'm looking at here. Let's see here. Share to, let's see, in one. And then I'm going to force presentation on my screen so that everyone should be able to see my screen here. And this is Mario Sanders' website, VTP Productions. And it looks different than the last time I looked at it, so this might actually not be him. Yeah, this, Calumet Libertyville. And let's see. Yeah, this looks more like it. All right. All right, and on this screen, or on this website, he actually created his own Google Plus Google review button. And last time I looked at it, Mario, you had this was not linked, so you have it linked now. We're going to see where this goes, and you're essentially going to it looks like you got it set up because it popped right open with the VTP Productions Google Plus review page, and I actually already wrote Mario a review here. So you have it hooked up correctly. I actually have a place on my computer. Let me find this here. Resources. And Robin, while I'm looking for this thing, would you just talk a little bit about the importance of reviews while I get this?
Sure, definitely. So you want to have at least a minimum of 5 Google reviews on your Google Plus page, and it was formerly Google Plus. It's now called Google My Business. And the reason why you want to have 5 stars is because, or 5 reviews is because 5 stars will then pop up when you Google your name, your business name, or if you Google in your town or around your location. When you Google anything, any of your keywords, it's going to pop up with your business name and then 5 stars underneath it. So if none of your competitors have 5 stars, that means you're going to stand out against the crowd. It's a huge advantage, and especially if you have more than 5 stars or 5 reviews, you'll have, it'll say underneath there, reviewed by, let's say, 50 people. And then it's a little bit more trustworthy of a source. So getting those first 5 reviews for the 5 stars is very, very important. Along with that, though, there is guidelines for the reviews. You may notice that sometimes you'll have your loyal customers post a review, and then the next day or in a month, it's just completely gone, and you're back down under the 5 review mark. So what you have to do in that case is go ahead and check out the Google review guidelines, and you can just go to Google and search Google review guidelines or Google Plus guidelines, and then that will show you exactly what you need to do. And for example, one of the guidelines is you can't have any of your employees review you. Another big one is you cannot have your customers review you from your location, but there are ways to get around that. So for example, they just have to not be connected to the Wi-Fi. They can be on their phone. So if they're on like a 3G network, 4G network, they are not connected to your business, so they could be really anywhere in town. So Google will recognize that it's not coming from your business or a computer from your business or anywhere near your Wi-Fi. So those reviews will stick. And another common question about reviews is, so let's say you have 10 5-star reviews. And on Google, it says you have a 4.5 or 4.8 rating. Well, if you average 10 5-star reviews, you would think that would be 5 stars. So why is Google showing that you only have 4.8 stars if you have no bad reviews? There is a longer answer to that, and it's based on if you had more reviews, according to Google's secret algorithm, and then you probably wouldn't have 5 stars. So it's just taking the current reviews and saying, okay, if you have only 5 or 10 reviews as a small sample size, they predict a bigger sample size of, let's say, 50 or 100 reviews, and they're guessing that not all of those 100 reviews will be 5 stars. So that's why you would have a 4.8 star rating, even though all of your customers have reviewed you at 5 stars.
Good point, Robin. I actually pulled up an example on my screen here, Frosty Bites, up in Round Lake Beach. My friend Joe owns this frozen yogurt place that just opened up recently. Of course, he's been working on getting his 5-star reviews, but you can see that even though he has 9 5-star reviews, his average is still 4.9. So over time, as you get more and more, it actually averages out to 5 eventually.
Which is still great because according to all the SEO research and experts out there, the word is 3 to 3.5 stars and up. They will still consider, customers will still consider it in good standing, and they will still go to your place based on the reviews. And customers look up things like Google, and they also look up Yelp and reviews like that. So if you're under the 3-star mark, you should definitely start working on either getting the reviews removed if they violate the guidelines of those types of review websites, or the other option. It is difficult to get the reviews removed sometimes, but the other option is to constantly respond to both good and bad reviews. So if you have a bad review, it's recommended that you respond very quickly. We're talking about within 24 to 48 hours, and at the most, maybe a week. And if you can always check your reviews, and there are tools out there to check your reviews, then you can accurately assess, okay, where are my bad reviews coming from, and respond to them right away. It shows like a sense of community, and it also shows that you care about your loyal customers who leave good reviews, and you also care about your business. So timing's always, always important, especially
Yes.
with posting of any kind for your online reputation, whether it be Facebook, Google Plus, reviews. It shows that you're actively engaging your audience.
Good point, Robin. I actually pulled up some. Robin, you're able to see my screen now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I pulled up some of the blog posts that we have on awesomedynamic.com that get into this information in much more detail. Robin has written most of these blog articles, if not all of them, and information about how to respond to reviews and a lot more depth into some of the different points that she brought up are in these different blog articles.
And this
So
is just awesomedynamic.com.
yes, awesomedynamic.com. You go to the blog section, and we actually have a category on the left side that says reviews, and then you're able to pull up this page and see all the different articles that we have in the reviews. Here's one that she wrote back on June 12 that specifically talks about why do I have 4.8 Google reviews star rating. So actually, I just got a text, or I got a voicemail from Dr. Bennett. He's able to hear us and see us, but he wasn't able to get in to ask any questions. So I just texted him back saying, shoot me a text with any specific questions you have, and we can also answer them that way. One thing I wanted to circle back to Mario's question about how to hook up the Google button. He created his own button. You'll see on awesomedynamic.com, we actually have a button that we use for our customers that we put on their website that says review us here. And the idea is this just eliminates many steps between the having to find the listing on Google, having to get to the right place, having to go to the about page, and then click review. This actually jumps through a whole bunch of different steps, so it makes that much easier. Mario created his own button, which looks like this, which is fine. And if you take a look, this is actually the format of the link. I know this stuff might look weird, but essentially this is your Google Plus URL right here, and then all you're adding at the end of this thing is the question mark, GL equals, and then you see all this stuff. And this extra stuff that's at the end of the URL is what you need to add to the end, which will automatically pop up that review screen that you'll see just kind of do this. So that's essentially the way to get that to pop up. I'll go ahead and put this in the comments of the video right now, and I'll put it in the comments of the Hangout, so this way anybody who's watching this broadcast now or sometime in the future is going to be able to grab that information and use it for their own purposes. So I'm going to put this review us link, and I'm just posting that to the notes on the Hangout right now, and that'll appear right here, review us link. That shows you how to review Awesome Dynamic, but like I said, you just grab the end part of this link after about, this question mark and everything after, and then you can link up your image with that, and that'll go to the right place. I didn't see.
Okay.
Go ahead, Robin.
Oh, I just wanted to circle back and emphasize why reviews are so important. It's because over 75%, it's closer to 80% now, of people trust online reviews as much as they would a friend's recommendation. So whether it's on Amazon, Yelp, Facebook reviews, Google Plus, all of these are contributing to actual sales, to people either finding you online, then later coming in, giving you a phone call, contacting you through your email form, or just having more brand recognition in general. Could also spawn social media posts and just comments and things like that. So these are all, the reviews are translating into dollars.
That is something that I wanted to I'll point out. I'm pulling something up on my screen here. I'm going to present my screen again. And if I just look up or if I look up, let's say, financial advisor in Libertyville, and Google search this, you'll see that I'm presented with a list of results. Now, I have ads turned off on my browser. You typically get, I'll just do an incognito window to show you what it would really look like. So of course you get some ads that are up here. You get some ads in the side. Those get a 30% click-through ratio in general. And then here's where the organic, natural results start coming in. And you can see in this particular search, which was financial advisor in Libertyville, we can see the different companies that are local in Libertyville. And there's one that jumps out to you very obviously. And Robin, which one would you say that is?
The one with the star ratings.
That's right. So you can see that the Trinnell Financial Group in Libertyville, where we do a lot of our networking, has 11 Google reviews. They've got enough of them where they have a even 5.0 and 11 stars at 5, or 11 reviews at 5 stars is excellent. And what research shows, and everything that we research and know about SEO, this gets a much higher click-through ratio than any of these other guys that are here. You can see that none of these other listings, these Google listings, Google My Business listings, have any reviews. Otherwise, it would say, well, if it had 5, it would have the golden stars showing. But if they had any at all, it would actually say the number of Google reviews right next to it. So none of these other companies in Libertyville have any reviews. Which is why the Trinnell Financial Group is coming up so prominently, and not only in the high, how high they are on this listing, but also the eye snaps to that, and then many times people just call this number right away without even clicking through if they're looking for someone. It doesn't have to be financial advice; it could be a plumber or a pizza place. I want to show you another search here.
And before you go to another search,
sure.
Let's just go ahead and hover over that Trinnell group. And
yes.
You can see, I just wanted to point out the knowledge graph on the right side.
Right.
Where is Google getting that information? Directly from your Google My Business / Google Plus page. So if you don't have your Google, and the reviews are right there too, so people can see everything about your business right there. They can see the hours, the phone number. Have you ever looked up on Google just to see the hours of like a mall or the hours of a restaurant? And you have to click through like 10 different things just to see what time they're open. This has it right there for you. They don't even have to click on your website. They can just go on Google. They see it right away. So it's very important to fill out your Google My Business page 100%.
This one example that I experienced with that at one point, Robin, was when I was looking for the hours of a Home Depot because I wanted to know how late they were open on a Sunday. I was actually searching for my phone. So if I search Home Depot Libertyville, and here's the one that's in, well, actually there isn't one in Libertyville, but here's the one in Vernon Hills. That's the one I was actually thinking of. And at the time, I was looking for the hours, but they didn't have it filled out. Their organization didn't have it filled out. So I actually had to click through to the website, which brought me through to their website, and then I had to go to, how do I find out where they are? I got to go to Store Finder, then I have to search their zip code, and then I eventually found the page where it was at, so 6060, and then here's the one, where's the one in Vernon Hills? Here it is, so then I had to go into this, and then I was able to find the hours. You can see that this is very frustrating from a user perspective. If they could have just seen that they were open from 6 to 10 o'clock, right on this page right here, and it filled it out at the time, that would have been much more useful. You can see that my example was that at the time it wasn't working, but they've since fixed that issue.
And the other thing is if they're searching from a mobile device, it's going to be even harder to click through those 5 or 6 different clicks.
Right. So, and then you also have the opportunity on these Google Plus listings to say a lot about your business and link directly to pages on your website that have to do with the different services that you offer. So there's tons of opportunity that's usually missed with these Google Plus listings that folks don't really tap into. So one item that I wanted to bring up next was I was going to do another example search, and that was just for Well, you know what? I want to go back to this financial advisor one. So just wanted to take a different spin on it. So yeah, if I have a lot of reviews, that's great. People will click me first potentially, or they'll come through to my site or whatever. So you know, that's all great and good. The other thing the other way to look at this is, well, we want to avoid a potential disaster. Meaning, if let's say one of your competitors is your first review and they maliciously put a 1-star review on your listing, now you're starting with an average of 1. Or let's say the very first review you get is from a happy customer, maybe they're crazy, who knows what the situation is. But if your first review happens to be a 1-star, you're starting from an average of 1. But if you proactively get 5-star reviews from your very happy customers, then you're starting, you know, Chanel here. Let's say they get a 1-star review tomorrow. Now their 12th review is a 1-star, and their average is going to be like a 4.8 or 4.9, not an average of 1. So they, you know, somebody can really tarnish your image pretty badly if you don't head it off at the pass and get some 5-star reviews from the get-go. Robin, anything else you wanted to add in
Yeah,
regard to reviews?
well, yes, in regard to reviews and just giving an overview of SEO in general. Okay, so this is the pie chart from 2014. It's the most recent one from Moz.com, which is a huge trusted SEO source. And you can see that this reddish portion right here is how important your reviews are to your overall SEO. So if you want to rank on Google, 10% of that is getting reviews. And that's something that you can do, you know, right now without a SEO team, without hiring anyone. You can do this 100% on your own. The other important items that we can also talk about today are bigger pieces of this pie as well, but you can see why we're focusing so much on reviews is because it's something you can do right away to get you boosted on Google. Some of these other bigger pieces do take a lot of time to get ranked for. But you can see this blue part too. So this is about, I would say, a fifth of this whole pie is something that you can do on your own, is Google+. Getting your Facebook page set up, getting reviews on Facebook, getting reviews on Google+ is right here in this blue and red part of the pie.
And just so everyone knows, well, yeah, you could still ask questions. Make sure the questions are working. Nate, would you mind publishing another question? Say, what other things than reviews can I do to help my business? So Nate's going to put that question up. But you know, this pie graph is showing what, like Robin just said, it's all the different things that impact your ability to rank in Google. And you know, we kind of talked about reviews a little bit, and you can see according to this graph, it's 9.8%, and then the social signals, like Robin was saying, you know, your Facebook likes, Facebook reviews, activity on your Google Plus, etc. Those things really have a 5.8% impact on what you're doing. So we actually have a blog post that Robin wrote that talks about why you should be focusing on your citations rather than on your social media and Facebook posts. It's because where is it, Robin? Which section is it? The citations. That's the, because this is a
right
newer
here.
graph, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This huge yellow piece right here.
Yeah, that yellow piece has a 15.5%. This is the NAP, or name, address, and phone number consistency, which is essentially citations, and we'll get into that in a second.
So it's roughly like 3 times as impactful as Facebook.
Correct. In your ability to rank in Google. So yeah, Facebook, you can certainly gain customers and have people, you know, get exposure and have people find you and contact you based on your Facebook activity. But when we're talking about how does Facebook impact your ability to rank in Google and the search engines, this is what's speaking to that. Wanted to call attention just for a moment over to the right side where it says Jessica's question, which is actually Nate using Jessica's account. What other things can I do to help my reviews? I'm just going to hit select on that, so this way we can make sure it's all working. Yeah, so we're currently answering that question. I'm going to hit done. So I just want to make sure that the question answer piece is still working. So just as a reminder to the audience, if you have a Google account and you come to this webinar, if you're signed in with your Google account and visit the webinar, you're able to post and ask those questions on the right side. Robin, do you want to go back to the citation piece and talk about why NAP consistency, name, address, and phone number is so important?
Yeah, definitely. The citations are exactly that, just anywhere on the internet where your name, address, and phone number are. So you can kind of think of it as an online phone book. Uh, there are thousands of citations. You can think of it as, the yellow pages, but online. And I'll give you an example of a citation is just facebook.com. Your business name, your address, and your phone number are all on Facebook. So that's a great example of a citation. Whitepages.com is another citation, and there's thousands out there. So how do you know which ones to fill out first? Basically, you have to go through, usually you can find a tool that will show you which citations you currently have online, even if you have not done any citations ever before. Where you will still have citations filled out online. So you're probably wondering, who filled out those citations for me online? Well, if you ever filed your business with the state, or you have a phone bill, or you have an account for your internet, or any kind of bills for your business or filings, there's companies out there that buy that data. So that data is going online, and people are listing your business name, address, and phone number. So if you Googled your business phone number, let's see if we can do that let's do it for Awesome Dynamic. All right, so I'm just going to copy and paste this phone number and put it in here. I'm probably going to get some citations in here. So like local.com, I can see that we're listed there. Who is about, businessdirectory.bell, citysquares.com. All of these websites that you've never even heard before. I mean, Yelp.com is an example as well. SmartGuy.com, BizExposed.com. These are all examples of people who have taken your business name, address, and phone number and put them on their site.
So, Robin, do you want to click through on one of those and just see what that listing looks like? I'm in the process of changing the address for my business, so we haven't really been that proactive about changing our name, address, and phone number, and we don't really have a brick and mortar location, so it's not as important to us as some other types of businesses. But
here's a perfect example of one: Intuit Business Directory. Your name, address, and phone number, and then it even has additional information that it probably took from maybe our Google Plus page, maybe from another website. The back end of these we really don't know, but what we do know is that if this information is wrong, potentially your customers can get the wrong information, and other sites can copy this information and paste it on their site, and then your information's wrong all over the internet. So it's like kind of like a huge nightmare. You have to go back and correct all of these, but it's very doable. There is a list of the top 50 citations you can do, and that's also on our blog, that list. And what you want to do is start with the most frequently used citations first. For example, like local pages, white pages, yellow pages, localese, all of these are listed on our blog, the top citations, and those ones will affect a lot of other ones as well. So if you correct these top 10 and top 50 citations, it takes about 15 minutes per citation. A little longer when you first start, but once you get the hang of it, about 15 minutes per citation. And all you do is sign in, so you have to actually make an account for every single one of these. What I do is I make a spam account, so I just make a new Gmail account, and I use that only for citations, because if you use your regular email address, you're going to get a ton of spam to it. So I fill out this, I press sign up for this website, and then I go ahead and correct all of my information. I verify that I'm the business owner, because I don't want my competitors to go in here and put all the wrong information. So you have to verify, usually by phone number or by email address, or somehow you have to verify that it's you, that you're the business owner. And then you go ahead and correct this information. So when we change addresses, what we're going to have to do is make make an account here and go ahead and change this address. Our phone number will be the same and our business name will be the same. One other very important note about citations is that everything has to be 100% consistent. So if I had a comma after the solutions or a period on the Inc., that would be a completely different business than how it is right now. Even to the point where if it's capitalized or uncapitalized, all of these things will greatly affect how you rank on Google. Even just a small period or comma will affect your ranking on Google.
And what do we need to be consistent with, Robin? The Google My Business listing, right?
Right. So what you have on your, if I can go to maps.google.com is one option and search for either by the phone number, Awesome Dynamic, and I can see my listing right here. So this should be 100% consistent. My other option, so this is all taken from our Google Plus.
And you can see that there is an inconsistency there. The biggest one is that this there's an ink on the Intuit one, but it's missing from here. So that citation with Intuit is not doing us any favors right now because of that inconsistency.
Right. And you want to make sure that you have this exact same name, address, and phone number on your website as well. And things like, see how it says drive versus DR? So DRIVE for drive versus capital D, lowercase r with no period at the end. That's typically how Google lists stuff without the periods. They try to make it as simple as possible. And it's the short code of the zip code. So you want to make sure the entire thing is consistent with across every website all over the internet.
You know, Robin, let's bring up an example of one of our customers that's really taken this to heart and done a lot of work on their citations. I think that Sinorama in Libertyville is one of those. Jcash. He actually hired somebody to aggressively work on the citations and getting them all to be consistent.
All right, and they actually, you know what? They changed their business name, so they're working on that right now.
Right. So their franchise changed their business name to not have dashes in between.
And it's a huge deal.
Yeah. So and speaking of that huge deal, that happens to law firms all the time when they change their which partners are in the law firm, and then they change their business name to reflect those which partners are in there. That has catastrophic damaging effects on their citations, which will plummet their Google ranking as a result. So I know that they're currently working. Yeah, that was a huge change. I forgot that they were in the process of changing that over, because that's a huge change that they went through. They actually had all their citations cleaned up for quite some time, and then their corporate office.
They're still working on it, yep.
Yeah, they're still working on it. Another one that we have is, I think, Libertyville Massage. Didn't they do a lot of work with their own citations? And so
it's something you can work on over time.
Right.
You want to get your top 10 done right away, but after your top 10, top 50, I mean, it's great to do. I would recommend doing at least one a day, or minimum 2 or 3 per week, and eventually over time you're going to get more citations. So
now this particular client of ours, just working on those citations, you can see she's got 35-star reviews. You can see that she's got a really good Yelp ranking. She's got, as you get all these things together, you can you'll also begin to see that all your other listings will begin to push your competitors off the first page of Google. So that's another advantage to getting all your name, address, and phone number information consistent, is you're actually taking away taking your competition's ability to rank away from them.
And what Paul means by that is that LibertyvilleMassage.com doesn't just have the top spot. They have the top spot, they have the second spot, they have the third spot, and they have down here they have this spot, and they have an article right here, they have this spot. So it's, they are dominating the first page. So even if someone who is untrained and one of your customers just goes on this page, the chances they're going to click on Libertyville Massage versus Massage Motu is very high. And I know for a fact that Massage Motu has poured in millions of dollars into their SEO, and they still can't rank above Libertyville Massage because they just don't have that local factor.
That's right. That's right. And that's where a lot of folks say, well, how can I compete against these giant corporations that have millions of marketing dollars? Well, if you actually take the time to do this to get your citations fixed in your local area and get more reviews than they can get, you can make a huge difference for yourself. It's unbelievable. Robin, would you do a Google search for Lake County massage?
Mhm.
And what's really cool, because Jan over at Libertyville Massage Therapy Clinic has been working on this so much, you can see even just searching all of Lake County, she pops up #1. More reviews than anyone else. You can see Massage Motu is trying to catch up. All the other folks that are underneath them have either no reviews or less than 5.
Yeah.
But Libertyville Massage Therapy is definitely the standout, not only on that Google listing that's there with the golden stars showing, but also they're dominating some additional results that are on this page as well. So that's good. We've been working with them for 3 or 4 years now. It's been
Mhm.
quite some time, but we help them with a lot of these different things. We do some coaching with them as well, training of their staff on how to do blogging and the citations and the reviews. But we also do a lot of other things.
And this
Robin,
is
would you,
just one example, one keyword that they're #1 for. They have, I think, over, what is it, like probably over 30 or 40 #1 keywords.
yeah, I think that Liberty Massage Therapy.
Hmm.
I think they have. Um, I think they have. I don't think they have acupuncture, but I think sports massage, Swedish massage. I think there's a lot of different keywords that they're starting to pop up for, not only in their town but outside of their town because of some of these different things that they've been working on. I'm not seeing any additional questions come through on the webinar, so we'll just continue. Robin, would you mind going back to the that graph that you had? Do you still have that open?
Yeah, the pie chart.
Yeah. So other items that are important to think about. I wanted to go into the on-page signals that you have there, and that's the pink part of the pie, and that's 21%. And that's it says right there, presence of NAP, so the name, address, and phone number. I don't know why, but I come across a lot of business owners that don't want to put their name, address, and phone number on their website. But Google actually uses that as a ranking factor on the fact that your name, address, and phone number is actually listed on there. And then there's a way to mark up that name, address, and phone number in the code behind the scenes with something called schema markup. It's SCHEMA. If you search schema in Google, you'll find that it'll give you some information on how to do that yourself. But there's also in that on-page signals, it talks about keywords in the titles of your pages, the domain authority, meaning what importance your website is given based on what you're doing on your website also has a factor. So a way to raise your domain authority is to not just have a stagnant website. It's important to keep your website active and have content being posted on there on a regular basis. Having
Yeah,
videos
and
on your pages make a big
they say
difference.
every 21 days. Is it the bare minimum you should put if you have social media pages like Facebook or Twitter or um, even on your Google Plus, 21 days in between is the least, that's the minimum. You should post every 21 days because if you don't, that it makes your business look like it's closed. So if the last time you tweeted or last time you did Facebook was 3 or 4 months ago, your customer could think you're closed. So either, I mean, you really wouldn't want to, if you don't use Twitter ever, you could almost even close the account or make sure that you're posting every 21 days.
Right. So it's better to look active than look closed. And if
Mhm.
you're not active on one of these social media networks, it would probably be better to just shut it down until you're ready to start being serious about managing it.
Yeah, and don't feel obligated to have a page on every single social media website out there, even if your competitors do, because what you want to make sure is that you do a good job on just 1 or 2 of them. So if you only have a Facebook page, just do a great job on your Facebook page. It's much better than having 10, buttons on your site to look pretty, but all of them have no content on them. And it
All right.
actually could even it could potentially penalize you if you have no content on your social media.
Now, I wanted to show something here. The So taking a look at the awesome dynamic Facebook page, I'm not saying that we have the best one in the world, but one thing that I read about recently is that having the videos uploaded directly into your Facebook page rather than sharing a YouTube video will give your Facebook posts a lot more value. You can see that if you ever scroll through your Facebook feed and you see stuff automatically playing, that's because folks have uploaded the video directly into the Facebook page.
Yeah.
But
And
we
photos
keep.
and videos have a much higher
Oh yeah.
percentage
If you
of
look at the ones
shares.
that I have here, almost every single post has a photo. Like anytime we get a 5-star review, I'm trying to make sure that we call attention to it. I used some little effects to make it look cool. But posts that have pictures or videos have much higher engagement rate than ones that do not.
And if you ask for a customer review and they say they don't have a Google account, first see if you can make one for them or show them how to make it. But if they're just short on time, or they just don't want to make a Google account, and a Google account just means you have an address at gmail.com. So if you have an Android phone, that means you have a Google account. But you can also ask them to leave you a review on Facebook.
Absolutely, there's Facebook. If you have a Yelp account, ask them to leave it on Yelp. If you don't already have a Yelp page, I wouldn't hurry up and get one. There's a lot of folks that have have a bone of contention to pick with Yelp, but I wouldn't hurry up and get a Yelp account or a Yelp listing for your business. But Facebook definitely, and like I said,
It affects your rankings too. So the reviews aren't just for people to read. I mean, they are very effective for your customers to read online and to get a good sense of your business, but they actually affect your ranking too. So you can rank higher based on your reviews and how many reviews you have.
I'm gonna jump back to Robin's screen here. All right. And we have roughly 13 minutes left in the webinar. We're just going to keep talking through everything we know. We know that it has a lot of value to a lot of you folks out there that don't understand this stuff, so we're trying to share that information.
And this is like just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
SEO is so in depth. So.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about strategies for responding to negative reviews. I could talk about how Yelp reviews work differently than a lot of other types of reviews. Just getting into that, I might as well talk about it. Yelp reviews, they usually don't stick. There's this whole filtered review thing. So we'll bring up one of my customers here. I'm going to flip it back to my screen, present to everyone. All right, so I'm going to go to Yelp.com. We'll bring up Kevin Kane with Hansa Coffee. So if I search Hansa Coffee, it's going to try and bring me to, I don't know why Bloomingdale came up. We're going to do Libertyville, Illinois. So here's Hansa Coffee Roasters. Wow, they have a nice, solid 5-star review rating, 137 reviews. I talk with Kevin quite a bit about different things that he could be doing.
I left one on there.
Did you? Good. Amazing place. I really love their coffee too. They changed the way I do coffee. But we could see that you have all these reviews, but if you go all the way down to the bottom, there's a section that's called filtered reviews. Let me go down here. And it's all the reviews that have gone into the black hole of Yelp. So 28 reviews not recommended. You can see we have a 1-star, a 2-star, there's a 5-star, and then we can actually continue reviewing or looking at more unrecommended reviews. Yelp has a very interesting way of, they call it their recommendation software apparently, that will filter out these reviews that you're not able to see. So unlike with Google and TripAdvisor and Facebook, they're much more lax, and they allow you to ask your happy customers to leave 5-star reviews on your business. Yeah, they have some filters and things that throw up red flags that will keep those reviews from showing up. But Yelp is a lot more strict about what they allow through. So we've found that the best ways to make sure that a review sticks, and what I mean by sticks, that it doesn't go into this black hole of unrecommended reviews. And one of those things is to make sure that you're actually physically at the location. So one of my customers that I actually frequent the shanty in Wadsworth, Illinois. They were on Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives, and I'm on his page right now. He was saying, Paul, can you leave a 5-star review with me? And I love their food, and I'd be more than happy to leave them a 5-star review. But I told him, I said, Dimitri, I can't do that because I need to be in your parking lot. I have to check in, take some pictures, and then I can leave a 5-star review. He said, well, why do you have to go through all that? And I said, well, that's what Yelp wants me to do as a Yelper. So Yelp wants you to follow those guidelines, and if you do, as a customer, and you're posting pictures, you're checking in the location, those are the things that they want to see you doing. Then they'll be much more likely to post that review as unfiltered. So every review that I've posted through my personal Yelp account has stuck on every business that I put on, but that's because I'm doing it that way. Robin mentioned earlier in this broadcast that not being connected to the Wi-Fi is very important. So the shanty, I don't think they actually have Wi-Fi, but their restaurant right next door, owned by his brother, Captain Porky's, does have Wi-Fi. But connecting to the Wi-Fi and having a whole bunch of people review a business through the Wi-Fi sends up huge red flags because it's all through the same IP address. So it's better to have people review on their phones and connecting to their own cell phone providers through their own cell phone towers with different IP addresses, and that will go a long way to making sure that the reviews stick. Talking a little bit about review theory, Robin, why don't you tell us some of the do's and don'ts for leaving good reviews? What should you tell your customers that they should and should not be doing?
Sure, let me pull that up. But in the meantime, can you talk about if you don't have a Yelp account, should you start one?
Okay, so I'll get into that. Robin, let me know when you have that on your screen,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll shift it over to your screen so we can see that do's and don'ts sheet. So yeah, the reason why you don't want to proactively go out and create a Yelp account if you don't already have one is because of this whole review. Being reviews going into this black hole filtered. Yelp is actually in several lawsuits across the United States for what people think are unscrupulous business practices. We actually have a Yelp Yelp Awesome Dynamic.
And I have it pulled up anytime.
Okay, I'll switch over to you in a second. There is, I forgot, Small Business and Reviews, The Mafia. There's a documentary coming out soon. We have a video on our blog with the trailer for this this documentary coming up, where essentially they're comparing Yelp to the Mafia because they call a lot of small businesses all the time, ask them to advertise within Yelp, promise that you're going to get a whole bunch of extra people coming into your business as a result of advertising with them. And a lot of businesses have reported that if they do start advertising, those filtered reviews all of a sudden become or all of a sudden don't become filtered anymore. They have a whole documentary exploring this idea. So I know a lot of business owners that are very dissatisfied with Yelp, and we're kind of following this story to see where that goes. But now that Robin has the reviews, do's, and don'ts on her screen, we're going to present her screen here. And Robin, that should be up now. All right.
Okay, so the things you do want to do are things like giving them postcards or letting them know on the website if how to get to your review page. The best way to do it, though, is to actually take their phone physically from them, show them how to make a Google account, get to the page where you can actually type in the review, because there's like 5 steps to it, and then give them back the phone and then have them write the review right on the spot. You can also throw a review party, but you do have to be careful of getting too many reviews in one day, because those could be flagged as well. If you have 0 reviews and then all of a sudden you have 50 reviews, that could be a red flag. There's no actual number, though. Okay. The other thing is you want to respond, as I said earlier, to both positive and negative reviews. And if Yelp has a review or another website that has information that has nothing to do with your business, or there's facts that can be checked that has nothing to do with your business, you can actually try to get that review taken down. Um,
Using technicalities are a great way to get rid of negative reviews if you can use them.
Another great thing to have your customers do is have them write a more lengthy review. One line review is not going to have as much weight as a 2-paragraph review. One long paragraph is usually perfect. Just, 5 sentences on your business is perfect. Using any kind of keywords in there are also good as well, which your customer could do naturally. Like if you sell coffee, and then if they say, big latte, big vanilla latte with chai or whatever, and then that'll be a keyword that if people search on Google, then your review can pop up, or your business, depending on where you are searching from. All right. And the things you definitely do not want to do, not writing from the IP address, so anywhere that's connected to your Wi-Fi or in your business. Like if you have a review party, don't set up your laptop and say, hey, review my business, because guess what? All those reviews are going to be taken down. You want to have them reviewed on their phone or something not connected to the Wi-Fi. You actually cannot pay anyone, give any goods, services, discounts. You can't have a review party and say 10% discounts off haircuts if you do a review for me. Will Google ever know? Probably not, but it's still against their Google guidelines. So if you put it in any kind of advertising or wrote it on a piece of paper and then Google finds out, then it could be taken down. And
They'll
you can actually be blacklisted.
Yeah, blacklisted, and then they can actually take you off of Google completely. So
Yeah,
then
so you don't want
that's horrible.
Yeah, any of these guidelines, I mean, there's a full list if you search on Google, they have guidelines completely, like a huge list of everything, like no employees, family members, things like that. You can get blacklisted. Don't try to write advertising in other people's reviews, like say you have, a special going on or something like that. That will definitely get taken down. And you can't just copy and paste reviews and put them on there, because that will be duplicate content. And but you can have, say you have a really loyal customer, they can write 2 reviews for you. So that's also another strategy.
Robin, I'm going to interrupt you for a moment. We only have 3 minutes left, and I want to just bring some attention to our next webinar and our review party that we're having come up. So all these different things that Robin had on her screen there with the do's and don'ts, we're actually going to hand out that document at our next review party, which will be at Lee Donuts in Libertyville, right off of Peterson Road. We're doing it on Wednesday, Wednesday the 24th at Lee Donuts. It's at 124 Peterson Road. And is this coming up, Nate? Is that coming up on your screen? Let me see. I'm trying to force the presentation. Yeah, it is. It will come up in a moment here. So that's going to be on the 24th, Wednesday, from 7 to 8 o'clock. Robin, you're not coming, but we do have a few of my other staff members there. We'll have the handouts there. We're going to help you leave reviews on other businesses that you've done business with, and also teach you how to, like what Robin said, take the phone away from your customer. We do it in a nice way. Would you mind leave us a nice review? They say yes. Okay, let me get you to the right place.
Yeah, trading reviews with other businesses is a great way to get reviews.
Absolutely. Then we also have our next online marketing getting website leads webinar. It's a week from today at 12:30 p.m. And I included the link at the bottom of this Hangout window. I also put it in the comments of the video as well, so you're able to click on that and attend that. So anything else you wanted to say in closing, Robin? We got about 1 minute and 30 seconds left.
Just keep attending webinars if you want to improve your business, and there's a lot that you can do on your own, or hiring someone locally or a family member that you can get a ton of traction online, especially if you have a local business.
Fantastic, Robin. And did you want to wave goodbye? Share your screen back to your webcam?
Hello.
All right, so here I am. See you later. Good. Thank you for attending. And Robin, I'm going to throw you up there, so just wave goodbye. All right. So see you guys and look forward to seeing you at the next webinar.